What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are down here, girl, girl. Let's make sure all of our things are on. Let's go ahead and test the mic and make sure that it's working. Hold on, because we don't want to have any snafu. The mic is on, honey. The mic is on. I'm not down there wrestling with the mic like Sugar Mama down there. Sugar Mama is trying to convince y'all, baby, that mic don't have her on the ropes yet again. Kandi Burris, honey, Sugar Mama came out and tried to let y'all know that she could still hit that note, baby. And when she leaned all the way back so she could really catch her breath, and she came back, she looked like she wanted to pass out. She looked like she had asphyxiated herself, girl. Girl, Kandi, it's okay, girl. We get older. Some things we can't do, some notes we can't hit. Remember Mariah was going through that for a second? Y'all remember when Mariah was going through that like shaky moment? We was like, what's going on with Mariah's voice? We have those moments, girl. She had to prove you, Kandi, baby. Don't challenge a Taurus. That's another thing. We know Kandi is so competitive, honey. It's not. It's not it. It's not it, Sugar Mama. It really isn't. What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica. We are down here, girl. I want this little piece to hang to have a, but it's gonna have to. I want it to hang to the side. I want it to hang over here. I didn't tie it right. So, anyways, go ahead and while I'm getting this together, go ahead and like, subscribe, comment. Let me know that you stopped by, girl. So I'm gonna pack me a little one hitter. You also can use, I use these as cigarette holders, but I also use it for a one hitter as well. So I just pack the little section right here, and then get you some pipe cleaners. I have me pipe cleaners to help me clean it out a bit. Yeah. So I do where I don't know what I did with that pipe cleaner. I do like sometimes, just to do a little one hitter in your face. God damn, this is a dope jam. What's up? So we down here, girl. And we're just doing what we do. And did y'all hear about, I know y'all heard about Kiki from Love and Marriage Huntsville. Kiki Jabar from Love and Marriage Huntsville, we got reports the other day that she had passed away. And she is Letitia Scott's, Marsupial's wife. Letitia Scott's cousin. And she was on the show, and they had their issues. And Wanda had an issue with, with Kiki, and Kiki knew all this tea about, I guess we'll never find out what went on with Marceau. I guess we'll never know. Dang, Kiki. So apparently Kiki was in the car. I was watching Kempire. Shout out to Kempire. I was watching his clip this morning, and said that it was carbon monoxide from her car. She was in her car. People say that it wasn't aside, but I don't know. They said she's full of life and she loved life. You know what? You really honestly never know what people are going through. You can be, seeing a person and the next day they're gone. And then you're like, they were like fine, jovial, laughing, joking and stuff. But you just don't know. A lot of people deal with their shadow by themselves. And sometimes the shadow just wins, and it's sad. It's really sad, because she has children. She has a husband. He was getting ready to baby, when her husband, they was getting ready to start some shit down at that barbecue at Kimmy's house. And you see Marceau was going around acting like he was fighting, but he was going around everybody. Yeah, because you don't want that big nigga to stomp you out. But we know that Kiki had some chemical dependency issues with opioids, painkillers, and stuff like that. So that's what the first thing people were like, well, maybe something happened, maybe accidental overdose or something like that. But they said she was in her car, and then her car had been having problems. I don't know. It's like, was the car on? Did she leave the car on? And we may never know. You know what I'm saying? We may never know. So we'll see. As the story comes out, we know that Letitia put on her page that they need their privacy. They weren't. I don't know. I don't think they were in a good place. Um, but that's what happens. And I'm not going to even tell you like that's why you gotta, men thinks with people because you never know. No, if you weren't on speaking terms, you weren't on speaking terms, and that's just what it is. And that's just what it is. This is so good. When I tell you, baby, this is so good. And I didn't put that much creamer this time. And it's just like, it's really, really good. So another thing that we saw online. So shout out to Kiki Jabbar. She transitioned and she's amongst the stars now. She's shooting through the sky now. Shout out to all the Love and Marriage Huntsville people who had a relationship with Kiki, her family, her husband, her children. I'm sure they're really going through a lot because you always say, "Oh, what is the thing?" It's something about time. They were too young. It was too early, too soon, and this and that. You know, you know. It's written already. You know what I'm saying? It's written. So she might come back. You don't know. We never know. And if she does, hopefully she doesn't. She does everything she needs to do. So when it's time to transition again, she can ascend. I think it's just it's just sad. It is sad when you think about it. They found her in her car, and the husband tried to resuscitate her, and that's kind of traumatic for a person to try to bring somebody back to life. You know what I'm saying? So it's difficult. So shout out to all those people, and I pray that all of them, and my hope is that all of them find comfort in the memories that they created. That's my wish for everybody who loses someone, is that you find comfort in the memories that you created together. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. So um play the music, right, that they loved, eat the food that they loved, the smell, the fragrance that they liked. That's the way to keep them around. That's the best way, and the memories that you created. So anyways, let's get to the mess. TGIF canceled. I just asked about them the day before yesterday. What's going on with the hiatus? When are y'all coming back? The same day Claudia was on Carlos King. Girl, I don't know what's gonna happen with this. I wanted to go to the side, but it kind of looks cute on the side. I wanted to go to the side. I want it to be on this side. Here, let's do it like this. Because when I oh, this is kind of cute. This looks like a little let me shut up. It looked like a little bang. Nobody does it like you, babe. Hey, I'm grateful. Hey. So, yeah, so TGIF, Claudia was on Carlos King. The interview with Carlos King, I did watch it. Claudia, she's good. Claudia is good. Claudia is good. She gets into this voice of hers, and I noticed it several times. It's very ASMR ish type of voice. And she comes in there and she doesn't know and she doesn't understand. And that's the one thing that I appreciate and respect, people who are transparent and speak forthright, right? If they're going to share something with you and they choose to share something with you, I love it when a person is forthright, and just say it. So we're going to go to the blogs in a second.
I sponsor the blog.
Let me tell you something.
But when she was down to Carlos King, Carlos was asking her questions about Al, and just her time, her experience and time in the industry, and working with Jamie Foxx, and knowing how to roast. And I guess they said she was a comedian. I didn't know that Claudia was a comedian. I know that she was in journalism. That's what I thought. Some place that she worked, somewhere, I forgot, when she first started. Is that Claudia's story I'm thinking about? That was a journalist. I think it was Claudia's story. I can't remember. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't remember. But anyways, so my overall thing with Carlos and Claudia is Claudia's hands are not clean. Claudia's hands are not clean. I don't know what went on with Al. She says she's going to tell us what happened, and I just hope that she's transparent and not speaking in riddles where we have to feel like Daphne and fucking Velma and figure out what the fuck is going on. Who do we need to pull the mask off? Armand and Claudia were in the comments basically blaming Al. And Armand said that his roast by saying, like, you trying to get our show canceled was true. Like, what he was saying was true. And everybody was asking, like, damn, you were there for such a short amount of time. And this is what you were able to observe, is that somebody was trying to get. And I would like to hear what but Al is going to play the diplomat, and he's probably never going to address it. And if he does address it, he's going to take us around the mulberry bush. We're not going to know exactly what happened, because at the same time, they're still trying to maintain their relationships in entertainment too. So they probably won't say every single thing. So here is the post. Okay. So she went to Carlos King. They had their conversation. I don't know. Like, I don't know. The entertainment industry and stuff like that, it's funny. It's fake and funny. Um, I appreciate Claudia saying she tried to help the people. She talked about how the idea for the show came about. I don't believe that story. I believe that she saw Nene down there doing that little, what they were trying to do. They did a little Housewives intro, and they act like they were going to come down there. The shade room. What was it called? The reading room. I don't know what it was called. Um, I feel like Claudia was like, oh, that is actually a good idea. And I have relationships, and I can get that. I can actually get that idea off the ground. She did the cocktails, talked about cocktails with queens. She said that they were all making the same amount, 250,000. There are some reports that saying that she was making 300,000, which to me, if I worked with Claudia, I would be like, yeah, that makes sense. It's her idea. It makes sense. Like, I wouldn't be like, oh, she's making $50,000 more. It's her idea. If that was the issue, let me tell you something. One thing that I've learned is move like friends. Don't move like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You see what happened to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when they weren't together, when it came time for money, and one person wanted to feel like they didn't want to do that because they were fine with what they were making. I always feel like if a person is unhappy with the pay, and there's so many things that go on when it's time for payment, and I think it's by design to keep people from talking about how much they make. But that does a disservice, right? It does. I love that Daniva came out and said how much they were making, because it allowed Armand to go in there and be like, okay, here's my currency. Your follower count and subscriber count is it's part of your currency and what you bring to the table. So I have this experience. I'm on camera. I produce shows. So if the last person was making $250,000, that's where I'm going to start with my negotiations. That's what I'm going to start. That's what I'm going to start. Now, if you feel like I don't have enough followers, I don't have the currency that is comparable to the previous person that was here, then we can negotiate. But because I know how much he makes, I'm going to ask for the same thing. I feel like more people should discuss their salary in places like that. I feel like it should be discussed more, because it doesn't allow people to get cheated out of money, right? Out of compensation. So I feel like take the Friends route, right? We all know what Friends did. They said none of us will come back if we ain't getting $1 million an episode, bitch. $1 million an episode. Janet Hubert wanted to do that from Aunt Vivian. She wanted to do that. Will Smith did not want to. Always take the friends route. When it's an ensemble cast and somebody wants money, y'all have to come together, and that's the only way that it's going to work, because then it's going to look like you're jealous that somebody's making more. No, we feel like everybody needs to be compensated. So if that was the issue, I hope that it wasn't, because I wouldn't fumble. Like, I feel like I'm having the Mimi experience again. You literally fumbled a bag to do this, to do this. And what's even better than this, than what we all do down here on YouTube, is that we produce. I'm very basic with my production, very basic with my editing. But other people down here are really extraordinary with their editing, with the production of their show. Armand and the way that he produces his show. Bondi Blue is another one, the way she produces her show. The way that Tanya TKO is another one. The way that we produce our shows, then to make $250,000 a year to do the same exact thing, but then also have a production team doing everything for you. So all you got to do is basically show up, make sure your fucking internet connection is strong, and talk your shit. And then you able to drink too. I knew that something was wrong when they stopped drinking all the time. Somebody said in the comments, the second episode when Doniva was drunk as fuck. I didn't watch it as much as I did when Funky Doniva was on there, but I didn't watch it a lot. Like I didn't watch. I watched like if they made it to the blogs, right? Or if I saw like a clip on shorts on YouTube. And I would see, because I come down here every now and again and say something Al said that was crazy or whatever. I thought it was a good mix because Al they didn't ever always agree, which I think it makes good dialogue. Daniva has his opinions. Al has his strong opinions. Claudia has their strong opinions. All of them joke and laugh. And then Armand, same thing. Armand was a natural for B. Coming through, he was natural. He had the timing correct and everything. I didn't like it personally that Al was calling him boy. Yeah, boy, boy. Boy is like you a child. You don't have respect. I'm a old queen, you a young one, you don't really know, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of talk to him. And people caught on to it, and he apologized, and he mentioned it more than once, how he had to be checked for calling it Armand boy and stuff like that. Right? So she did her interview with Carlos King. She said that TGIF is her baby. It was her baby. Apparently, she knew an executive over there, and the guy is not there anymore. So I don't know. And it was word on the street that Claudia had a relationship. We don't know what the dynamics of the relationship was, but she had a relationship with somebody at Foxhole. And when I say relationship, I don't mean romantic. I mean that she knew a person, they had a relationship, right? With somebody that was an executive there, and they're no longer there. So I don't know if that affected things going on. But then Cocktails with Queens went away. It was a money thing, I guess. And then they were getting rid of a lot of shows. I didn't know they got rid of Tammy Mack's show. I did not know that. I noticed that I hadn't seen her anymore. But I was like, oh, okay. Like I hadn't seen the videos. Like, you still see the videos come up in the feeds and stuff like that. And I hadn't seen her in a long time. So I was like, oh, maybe the show is not there anymore. I don't know. But then Claudia confirmed it and said that they cut a lot of the shows, and they kept TGI Fridays, TGIF. They were getting paid $1,000 an episode. If I got $1,000 for every video I did, bitch, I don't care if we did not get along. I'm going to be right there. I don't even have, I could still, do you know, I could still have we could still talk about hot topics. And then when I get off, I don't speak to you. I don't really fuck with you like that. We can have a back and forth and everything. And we might even be a little shady to each other. but we still going to be like, for The View, and I think Carlos brought it up, for The View to have run so long, knowing that these women have different points of view, they're not going to always get along, because that's just how relationships go. Now, here is the time where you fight for a relationship. These are the times where you fight for a relationship, not these raggedy ass, slow ass, tight ass,
po ass, raggedy ass, slow ass
relationships y'all be in. But these romantic, intimate relationships. This relationship is a relationship to fight for. The freedom that came with that job, girl. Like I said yesterday, I would pack my, if they were like, oh yeah, let's do 250 annually to sit up here for like 44 minutes, because you got ads, so it's about 44 minutes, and then turn my thing off and do whatever the fuck I want to do, bitch, and then still be able to come down here and make my own little videos. Crazy as hell. I would not have fumbled that bag. I'm sorry. As much as I love to talk about, let me tell you something. I've talked about entertainment forever. I remember a friend of mine used to be like, Erica, how do you know stuff about these people? Baby, I used to be in Us Weekly. I used to be in People. My grandmother used to get People as a subscription. I've always talked, being from Los Angeles, it's just a natural thing to talk about these people. It's just a natural thing. It's just natural. So we sit here, let's talk about, and you got to get somebody on there who doesn't necessarily care about relationships with these public figures. That's another thing. Claudia mentioned that. So this is where Claudia is kind of doing a double speak for me, where she says that this is her baby. She obviously has a knack for putting shows together. But then at the same time, you say you don't want to be in this space anymore. You want to go into talking about relationships? Call me, because we have a totally different view about relationships. I'll change your whole shit up. I'll change your whole fucking programming. We got to get in there and do some little tinkering. I change your whole shit up. You want to talk about relationships? Call me. Call me. I'll be the bitter bitch, the bitter single mom on the panel. Call me if you want to talk about relationships. You ever heard me talk about relationships? Let's go watch the other videos. She said she wants to get in relationships or politics. Relationships is big business. It's always it's new fools born every day who believe that their life's purpose is to be partnered with somebody, romantically partnered with somebody. So that's always going to be big business. People are always going to, talk about relationships. It's just because people think that that's the only way that they're here, So that's one part that I said, I was like, okay, Claudia, you kind of double speaking, because you're saying that this is your baby, but you do want to get out of the arena because you are developing more relationships as you do more shows and as you do more movies and stuff like that. Some of these people that you're talking about. There's a way to talk about people without being mean. It depends on the topic as well. It depends on the topic. Like, if you wrong, you wrong. There's no way to get around that. And that's it. But we all have our biases and stuff like that, and that's natural. That it's really just that's normal. I just can't believe they fumbled $250,000 a year. I don't know. I want to make $1,000 an episode. If I could make $1,000 an episode down here, when I would press this red square to go off, I'd be walking out to my goddamn beach backyard. When I tell you I will be out of here, I will be out of here so fast, honey. I'll be like, Erica, you moved? I sure did. Where'd you move to? Around some water that I water all the time, that I don't have to drive to. I can just walk to. Girl, I would be the fuck out of here. And it wouldn't be no goddamn expensive ass Miami. It's no shade. But I would be the fuck up out of here. Because the freedom of being able to record anywhere. And then, like Claudia said, they were about to go to studio. No. Leave it remote like that. It's fine. We don't even need to be in a studio. We don't. Keep it like this. This is the new wave, right? Y'all started it during the panorama. Keep it like that. So it got canceled. Unfortunately, here's a post from Claudia. Unfortunately, TGIF will not be returning to Fox Soul after our hiatus. 2019 to 2024. What a run. Soulmates, I love you, and you already know I'll never stop pushing to give y'all more shows in the future. Claudia announces TGIF will not be returning. Notice that the announcement came immediately after the Carlos King interview. Well, the concept was from Nene Leakes. She did it first, and here comes Claudia. That wasn't my comment. Didn't I just say that? They really fumbled 250,000. Claudia's was 300,000. And all they do is sit in front of their laptops and gossip for 40 minutes a day. I blame Armand and Claudia for this. That roast definitely played a part. My thing is, if it's two people roasting one person and the person is upset about it, okay, Al, do you want to just wait until your contract goes out? Is it that bad? Is it that bad, girl? And you don't even see these people. It's not like the people who have to go into an office and walk by the people they can't stand, or be in a meeting with a person they can't stand. They got to actually be in their physical presence. You don't even have to be, and y'all can't get along. Y'all are remote workers. You can't get along. You can't find a space. And then Claudia, of course, she feels like she's being used. I don't think Al, I don't know, like Al, they call Al Reynolds a clout chaser. That's what Armand called him. I don't know. I don't know. I can't really say that about Al. I don't know if he's a clout chaser and he wants to, I feel like he wants to be in the room, but I feel like he's in the rooms that he wants to be in. I don't feel like he's like clamoring to get to different spaces as a young person like Armand would be clamoring to get into those spaces. Armand has been in some spaces too, for real. So I don't know. It's unfortunate. I'm gonna read some more comments. Dear God, can you please heal Wendy Williams? We need her. The culture needs her. I never watched this show, but I like Funky Dineva and can't nobody tell it like Funky D. I hate this for Claudia. I love TGIF back when it was Funky Claudia and that beige lopsided no top lip having who allegedly tanked the show. Honestly, Claudia could have kept Funky, fired Al, and hired Dustin to replace Al. High key. Respectfully, Armand was not a good addition. I thought Armand was a good addition, but Claudia was talking to him about his commentary when it comes to Black women and how he needed to kind of check that because it was so biased that it came off harsh. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I didn't really watch when Armand, I saw that when he was testing, right? And I was like, oh yeah, he's perfect. He's really good. Funky Dineva said he was really good. The people were I watch Armand's channel. I'm subscribed to his channel. I watch his little things. And he is, a little insensitive when the stories have a Black woman at the base of it. He is a little insensitive. There tends to be, and even Al's the same way. They're like, I remember when I saw the clip when the story about Puffy came out, and he was more concerned with Puffy being labeled gay than actually the abuse that he was inflicting on women. He was like, he was more concerned with that ruining his reputation than actually him being a violent, abusive man to women. So Al always had weird takes. Claudia has her weird takes, her whole aura change. I wonder if T.S. Madison recognizes that her whole aura changed when they start talking about anything LGBTQ. Claudia's whole demeanor changes. She says that she loves the kids. I feel a lot of the times that it's a really hard space to be in with straight women because she said that, I don't want them to be accessories, and I don't want, but you knew that putting these men together would bring views and things like that. So you knew what they were capable of doing together. But there's a very, very, very tiny line that happens with gay men and straight women when they are in relationships with each other, especially if the straight woman has some internalized issues about members of the community. And it's clear when they have these conversations. She can't hide how when I tell you, her entire aura changes. Everything changes around, like it's like something jumps into her body and she gets like irritated, like she gets like she's aggravated, and she does this, it's just I just I just and it's like this, I don't really know why these things happen to me. I just try to help people, and it's great. Like she says, she got T.S. Madison her show. It's wonderful. And I think those are good, like you get points for those things, creating shows, giving people checks and stuff like that. I think it's great. I think it's just so unfortunate. Hopefully Claudia is able to create another show. Maybe they give her an opportunity to create another show. But yeah, that's part of I don't want to watch. I follow people on Twitter that I don't agree with. I don't want to be in an echo chamber. I do want to be, if we could be on a panel talking and us not all agree on whatever the topic is, and then have a dialogue about it. And I'm not trying to change your mind. You're not trying to change my mind, but we see each other when the conversation is, we seek to understand each other, right? But that 200, I just keep thinking about $250,000. To me, I feel like it's one episode, $1,000. I get paid $1,000 for an episode. Girl, what? So it's sad. And then in the comments, she was like, somebody said, I knew Al was the part of this cancellation. Super disgusting way to end such an excellent run. I remember the first time I watched TGIF, Funky Dineva was drunk as a skunk on episode 2. So much memories. Love you, Claudia. Can't wait for your next show. Claudia responds, he sure did. Well, now I can really share what all went down. I will never speak on that man again after he did what he did to a great show. Somebody else said, horrible news. This is all Al's fault. Acting like a div behind the scenes. Oh, a diva, maybe. Acting like a diva behind the scenes. Being messy with his high yellow, high booty self. Claudia responds with a 100 emoji. Another one says, that's crazy. The roast actually ended things. I really liked the show and watched every single episode. Will always support you, Claudia, in whatever you do. It was not the roast, she said. Thank you. Armand really effed up the thing, in my funky voice. She says, no, it wasn't his fault. He came into a messed up situation. That was irreversible. It has been a great run. Thank you for getting us through COVID. Wishing you and Al all the best. Al can go to hell. He is a huge part of this. Girl, now he can go to hell. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. We gotta go. Yeah, this is enough. We're gonna come back. I want to talk about Columbus Short. Y'all let me know what y'all think about TGI Fridays, TGIF ending. Here's Armand. Somebody said Al is two-faced. Literally, when you first got there, he was getting backlash for trying to sun you. He said he was your biggest fan, just to be jealous of you after all. It's giving Jason Lee. Armand retweeted and quoted and said, this is exactly what happened. He said, I really tried to turn a new leaf, but honestly, Al got what he wanted. I wasn't lying when I said he was trying to get the show canceled and me fired. Armand retweeted this. He only liked Armand because him and Claudia bumped heads a little when he first joined. Claudia said she did not choose Armand. It was not her selection. And she kind of felt that when the decision was made, she was left out of it. She doesn't have IP over it. It's she didn't do. And let me tell you something. What I would like to hear from Miss Claudia Jordan is what you learned and what you're going to do different moving forward when you develop a show and bring people in. I think people who have a relationship of some sort helps with the dialogue, right? Because you kind of know what their views are a little bit. You kind of know. So then when they say something, you're not like, ugh, what the fuck did you just say? Because I know the way that Al speaks, I would have been like, girl, no. Al, are you crazy? Girl, are you nuts? That's what you concerned about? You more concerned about him being gay than actually abusing women? Like, that was, girl, what? If we gonna talk, let's talk. Says, but I honestly think Armand's comfortability with his sexuality gets under Al the most. If you read about his upbringing, it starts making sense. Armand retweeted this. So it is what it is. Party is over, honey. Party is over. Yeah, we'll see what comes back. Oh, okay. Tisha shares her cousin's Kiki's funeral announcement on when the funeral is going to be. Real Housewives of New Jersey is, I guess, I don't know what episode we're on. I don't even know. I think it's 14. But it's coming to a close. Yeah, they're on episode 10. They're coming to a close. I don't know how many episodes they're going to have this season, but 10 is the next episode. And I don't think they're going past. That's how you know. That's how you know when they don't get past 20. Do you remember when Atlanta used to have like 20 something episodes? I knew something was wrong when their episode count started to become 16 episodes, 18 episodes. I'm like, what's going on? Why aren't they giving them more episodes? Well, apparently it's a lot of shit going down on New Jersey. All True Tea. This is from All True Tea. The source comes out of OK Magazine. It says screaming, yelling, broken glass, and violent behavior. Real Housewives of New Jersey season 14 finale, juicy details revealed. At the finale dinner, Teresa and Margaret get into a very, very heated argument. Teresa was screaming at Margaret that she's been trying to ruin her relationship with Louis since the beginning. More specifically, they continue, Teresa claimed that Margaret started rumors about Louis early on, and this is where their problems had stemmed from. You know how many women, let me tell you something. You know how many women do this? Their friends are legitimately concerned about the person that they're dating, and then you cut those people off. You get mad at them when they kind of break up the love bubble to tell you that this person that you've fallen in love with is not who they say they are. So many women do that, and that's how abuse happens, because you want to protect this person that you just met and take their word over your friend who has your best interests in mind. This is a new person. You don't really know them. You know Margaret. Now, Margaret's trying to do investigation on Louis, starting rumors. No, honey. Margaret wanted to bring to the show what his ex-girlfriends, the Yelp reviews. You want to ignore the Yelp reviews. And then you're the one that's going to be like looking stupid when you have the same dining experience. And all you had to do was listen to Marge, who was like, girl, let's read the reviews on this restaurant before we go. Girl, did you see? Wait a minute, girl. It says wait a minute, it says that he is okay. You sure you want to go, girl? You trying to start rumors about my man, honey? Girl, I'm going by what this other woman is saying. It's by design. Y'all don't trust each other. It's by design. You take his word, a man you just met, over the woman who had an experience with him, or over your friends who are telling you, girl, this is not the guy for you. You want to stay in the love bubble fantasy. You don't want to see the reality of who this person really is. And then you looking stupid when he clears out your motherfucking bank account. Now you looking to Margaret trying to borrow some money. Now you at Joe Gorga's house trying to borrow some money because Louis done cleaned you out. When I saw Gia give him a kiss on the cheek, I was like, girl, what the fuck? No. Y'all don't know this man. Y'all done moved this. He done moved y'all into this house. You don't know nothing about this man unless you do. Bo Dietl, shout out to Bo Dietl. He needs to do a damn background investigation on his own friend, and you need to pay him for it and find out who this person is. And now you mad at Margaret and saying she's starting to start rumors? Girl, stop. Women do that too often. Too often. I know you know a woman who's done it. I know you do too. Teresa claimed that Margaret started rumors about Louis early on, and this is where the problem stemmed from. Margaret did deny it. But then Teresa pointed to a very specific piece of evidence to show that this was the case in her opinion. Between, it says Jennifer Aiden and Danielle, who have been getting into it all season, when Jennifer put her hands on Danielle 2 weeks ago on the show, stuff really went haywire between Jen and Danielle. It was beyond explosive. Jen mentioned something about Danielle's husband having man B or something, and set Danielle off explosively. You know how you saw the glass on the floor in the first scene of the season with Dolores sitting at rails and asked how the sit down went? She said it went horrible. There was glass everywhere on the floor because Danielle picked up a glass pitcher and chucked it at Jennifer. Girl. That was what, remember when I said they watched the last 2 episodes at Rails? Okay, so this is that's the last episode. So they're at Rails after watching the last episodes of the season. I don't understand how that's happening. She then lunged at her as well. It was absolute crazy, and she was extremely violent in nature. It should be noted that the former friend, Kim D, had broken some of this information regarding Danielle and Jennifer on the Misunderstood podcast. Jackie, who was present at the sit down, was also talking to Ruelas' ex in an effort to show that it wasn't just her. However, Teresa has 0% mad at Jackie about this because this was back around the time Teresa had been causing rumors about Evan cheating. So while Teresa may not have been happy with Jackie had talked to Vanessa, she understood why she did it at the time and wasn't mad at her. She was definitely mad at Margaret, though, because Teresa feels like they had forged a friendship on the show from Margaret's first season on. That's why she was doing background checks on your man. To me, that's the kind of friend you want. Girl, let's do a background check on this motherfucker. And for you not to want, to know about, let's find out who this guy is. If you're really serious about this guy, let's find out who he is. Why don't you want to know? Can y'all please tell me? You don't want to know because you don't want to ruin the idea of the thing. You'd rather deal with the idea of the thing than the reality of the thing. Because the reality of the thing fucks up the fantasy. It breaks up the fantasy. It literally unwinds your eyes. You want to be dizzy. You want to be dizzy running around with birds going around your head and stars and birds going around your head like you some goofy damn dummy. I don't understand why you want to be goofy and dummy in a relationship. I feel like you should be smart and logical. But no, they count on y'all desiring romance so that you can ignore all the red flags. And the red flags, the first red flags are the Yelp reviews. Go and find out who. Like I said, y'all go down to the nail salon and take longer time picking out your nail color than you do deciding whether you want to get in relationships, marry, legally bind, go into business with these motherfuckers. Like, mm-mm. Mm-mm. And then you don't want nobody to check up on them. And then you don't want to talk to the last person. If you were to hire someone to come into your house to do some work, you would try to see who they were. If you were going to somebody for a tattoo, you would want to see their work, wouldn't you? You're making a permanent decision. I mean, you could get it covered, but you're making a permanent decision. Don't you want to see the artist's work? Don't you want to see what they've done before? Don't you want to read their reviews before you sit down in their chair and allow them to make a permanent mark on you? If, again, I'm going back to if you were getting some work done on your house, don't you want to read who the contractor, some reviews from the contractor? Don't you want to ask, other people who have used their services? How were they? So why don't you want to ask ex partners about their partner? Can I have the name of your last partner? How did that relationship end? It didn't end well. Can I still talk to them? No, I don't want to talk. No, I need to talk to them. Why can't I? If you were upstanding in the relationship, then you have no problem. If they were the ones that, because men will tell you, baby, when I tell you, men will give you a sob story about, so she cheated on me so you can feel sorry for his broke, tired ass. He never tells you what he did. He leaves that part out and you believe him. And then you have an attitude like Sonny. Sonny, what the fuck do you have an attitude with Destiny for? And then you even call Destiny a side chick. So that tells me that you know that Mo or Maurice is not an upstanding guy. What makes you think your square head is going to be any different? What makes you think that you're going to be any different? If he's able to have access to you with no consequence. You saw how he treated the last person. And you thought he would be, he's suitable for partnership. Let me go marry him and then have an attitude with the other woman. What you got an attitude with her for? It's by design. Anyways, I gotta go. Take care of each other. We'll see what's gonna happen. Teresa and Melissa did indeed get into it. A small drop as they were screaming and yelling at each other. And the rumors about Teresa calling Melissa a whore were true. All in all, the cast was at each other's throat this much. It makes sense that a reunion could not move forward. This cast has way too many fractured relationships. After this dinner, they were mostly unfixable. It is very much from Teresa's point of view, but they pay bloggers to put stories out. They pay people to put stories out. They give them exclusives, so it is what it is. Here's Danielle. Let's end with Danielle talking about what happened, because Teresa was talking too. Listen, Teresa says toxic. Oh, let me turn Teresa up.
It's sad, everything that's happening to it,
And then we'll go.
It's not fun. I mean, first of all, it hasn't been fun for me. Like, for instance, last night, like, thank God they showed it. Like, did you watch last night's episode?
I did, yeah.
I turned my head for a second. Like,
you did.
I was there the whole time. And then, because I heard Jennifer telling her to calm down. So I was like, okay, good. She's telling her to calm down. It's going to be good. I turned my head for a second, and I was just like, and then that's when, they got fit, it got physical.
I can't believe you did. You for a microsecond.
Remember, I told you she turned it.
Like,
she was literally.
Because I was standing there the whole time, and then I turned my head for a second. I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah, I'm surprised they showed it too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad they did.
I'm glad they did too, because everybody would have been on Teresa's ass. If she said, like, I didn't see it, we would have said that she was lying. I would have said that, girl, you saw that. But I'm so glad that they had that camera angle, because she literally was like this. And that girl pushed her so fast. And that was the end of that. So let me go make another video. We need to talk about Columbus Short. Take care of each other, protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.